Hey, Todd Burrier from toddburrier.com, and today I want to share with you some insight and perspective about a plan B versus a plan A. You know, everybody has a plan A, right? I mean, that's the thing they're doing. In many cases, it's someone's career. And then classically, a plan B is something that someone works on the side, right? That's typically the kind of thing that you would have, or, some people even look at their retirement as a plan B. But I'm going to give you a little different perspective on this today, and something that I hope is very thought-provoking for you and maybe inspires you to take some steps. So what inspired this message was, it wasn't long ago, and maybe 3 or 4 months ago, I was noticing, I used to watch ESPN. I love sports. So I was watching ESPN for years. That was the way I consumed sports. And I realized like 3 or 4 months ago, I never watch sports news anymore. When I want to know about sports news, I simply take my computer or my tablet or even my phone, and I go to where I can consume news immediately, and I do it. And I thought, I bet I'm not alone. As a matter of fact, since I'm an old timer from a technology standpoint, I'm probably late to this, right? So I thought, I'll bet you ESPN is struggling, because I bet I'm not alone. And then sure enough, literally, I went and looked and actually analyzed ESPN and where they were financially. I could see they had been struggling for a little while. And then right after I had this thought process, they laid off tons of people. So why does that matter to you? Because that's happening everywhere, right? That's happening everywhere. Even companies that are doing well are shrinking from a human perspective because of technology, right? You can see it everywhere. I mean, GE and AT&T and Microsoft and Boeing and Walmart and all these huge companies, right, are paring down. And the reason they're doing that is simple. Technology allows that to happen, right? Because technology makes workers redundant, meaning that you no longer need two. One can do what two used to be able to do. Matter of fact, one can do now what 5 used to be able to do, or 10 used to be able to do. And soon it's going to continue to pare down further. And then you also have the issue of healthcare costs and corporations moving towards contract workers. And I'm not going to go into a whole thing about that, because that's a big message in general. But the reality is, right, when you walk into your grocery store and you see that cashier line that doesn't have a human being in it, all you got to do is project. Just project it everywhere, because that's where it's going. And so what's it got to do with plan A and plan B? You see, a lot of people's plan A, right, is a career, and then maybe Social Security, which I would question the efficacy of that in the future, but a retirement plan or a pension or portfolio, right, that would be their plan A. The challenge is that the career piece is not secure. I hope you love your job. I really do. Although that would put you in a minority, but I hope that you do. I hope it inspires you and it fulfills you and you feel like you're making an impact and you're growing. I hope that's the case for you. But even if you love what you do, it's not secure. And you're kidding yourself if you think that you are. And so everybody should have a plan B, right? They should have something that they're developing and working on that they enjoy. It's easy to turn your interests into a business in today. Or obviously, the home business and the network marketing space gives you a turnkey way to begin creating something right away. And setting aside the idea of tax advantages and all this other stuff, I'm just talking about it conceptually, plan A versus plan B. You see, I believe in today's world, plan B should be your new plan A. And the reason I say that is because from a mental focus perspective, if you don't think that way, it's easy to push off the plan B. See, the ideal time to work on your plan B is when you don't need it, right? When you do need it, now plan B is automatically plan A. And not everybody functions well in that kind of situation, right? So, classically, the job uses us, right? The job uses us. It consumes a substantial amount of our life. If we work for 40 years for someone else, that's 40 years, the 40 most productive years of our life. Again, not saying it's wrong. If you love your job, awesome. What I am saying, though, is the job uses you, right? It uses your talents, your abilities in the way they want to use them. And you get return for that. Certainly, you can't give you what you're worth, because then they can't profit from your involvement. A big corporation makes like $250,000 off of an employee's productivity. That's how they're built. That's how their profit model is designed. Smaller companies make about $100,000. Bottom line is, the job is using you in that regard, which is okay, right? It's a free exchange, and hopefully it's purely by choice. The point is, if you understand that really the plan B has to be the new plan A, then you flip that script and you use the job as your means of support, your means of a consistent, steady income that keeps a roof over your head, maybe keeps you at peace a little bit. Again, because I don't think you should be laying up at night going, oh my gosh, I could lose my job tomorrow. All that's true. I don't think that, I don't think that's a good thing for you mentally. I just think from a proactive perspective, you want to be dedicating time and treating that plan B like it's a plan A. In other words, it's not optional. It's not, if I feel like it, it's, you have to treat it with the same respect that you would treat your plan A, right? Because that's working for someone else's dream, right? Putting money in their pocket. You need to work on something for yourself. There's never been a better time to grow your own thing. Never. I mean, maybe in 5 years it'll be even better. But right now it's incredible with the technology. It's so easy to start. It's so easy to just chunk away at it and work at your plan B as if it were the plan A. Because if you have that mentality and you don't love your job, eventually you can work your way into where plan B is all there is. But you also will be building a safety net for yourself. And it will be growing and developing you and probably making you better in your job. But the point is, you have to treat your plan B as if it was the plan A. So I hope that you find this helpful. If you're struggling with thinking about what your plan B should be, reach out to me. Send me a message. I'm happy to talk to you about it. I coach and mentor people in that space all the time, even helping people kind of figure out what is best for them. And then, of course, I teach and train and mentor people who are actually engaged in building their plan B. So I hope you found this helpful. If you have not yet got the 27 scripts that really work or signed up for my blog, I consistently do personal development and or home business style training on the blog. So that's all designed free to support you in your efforts. So make sure you head to toddburrier.com and check that out. Hope this is helpful.